Make jaws, but the stress is too much. Welcome to Ricky and Brenda's The Great Escape.
So hello channel, welcome back to another video of The Great Escape. I'm Ricky flying solo. As promised, I was just gonna do a video on how I do my tacos. So you guys are gonna love it. It's gonna be not that difficult, you know, a couple of ingredients here and there, and anyways, you'll see how I do it. Again, I'm sure you're gonna love it. You're gonna make it a lot for yourself, for your family, for friends. But first things first, I'm gonna share with you a couple of sides that I like to have when it comes to tacos. A special sauce, my garlic sauce, which has been a secret for a gazillion years. Today on this video, you're gonna get to know how I do that one. So we're gonna start with that actually, the garlic sauce. This sauce, I like using it for many things. It's always good to have it around. Whether you make, you know, beans, soups, stews, you know, all kinds of different things. You can just use it as a sauce, you know, for fried plantains or any, you know, if you like garlic bread, that's the one to use. So we'll start with that. It's probably going to be somewhat of a short video since I'm going to probably be fast forwarding, but I'll make sure that you guys, you know, get step by step on how to do everything. All right. So we got the garlic cloves that I've already peeled. So we're going to chop them up. You know, you can do this however you feel comfortable doing it. If you got one of those little chopping or mechanical things, you can use, you know, whatever you like. The idea is to chop them up. If you're doing it the way I'm doing it, just be careful. The idea is to have all your fingers when you're done. I don't know about you guys, but I need my fingers for many things. So there are multiple ways of doing this, of course. You know, when it comes to the knife, you can do it very kind of quick and rough, and then come back around and do one of these. Makes it a little easier, more safer, right? Always be careful with that, and make sure that your knife is always sharp. A dull knife, believe it or not, are prone to cause more accidents than a sharp knife. Sharp knife, you know, you don't have to put too much pressure to cut things, versus a dull knife. You have to put more pressure, and you know, that's how people cut themselves. So make sure your knife is nice and sharp. So, you know, kind of like this. And then now we're gonna make like a paste out of the garlic. Some people like to put some, you know, a little bit of salt, like kosher salt, because there's bigger grains. You can do that. I normally don't. As you can see, I just like to keep a wet towel underneath my cutting board to prevent the cutting board from sliding around. So that's pretty steady for me. And then, you know, putting the sharp against you, you're gonna press and, you know, press and just washing it, right? Press and pull back. If you put, like I said, some people like putting salt. It makes it a little easier. I don't put salt because I try to cook with low sodium. But if you do this a couple of times, you'll end up with, you know, garlic paste, which is what we want. The more you do it, the more pasty it's gonna be. See all that juice coming out? Maybe one more time. All right, that's good. So now I'm gonna put it on a little bowl here. All right, and yes, I clean my hands before I started doing all this, of course. Then we're gonna put some olive oil. You know, the better the quality, you know, the good quality, and you're gonna want to use good quality olive oil for this. So we'll have some of that. You can put some dry, like salt, pepper, completa seasoning, if you know what that is, or adobo. Again, I don't like using too much salt, so I'm not gonna put too much of that. Black pepper. Normally I would use dry cilantro, but because I have some fresh one, I'd rather use fresh. It's already pre-washed, so we're just gonna add a little bit, not too much. All right, some of that. And I have some dry parsley, so I'm gonna put some of that too. Dry garlic, why not? A little bit. Just do this as, you know, to taste. I'm gonna take a lime, squeeze it in there. A whole lime. Well, not that. When I meant the whole lime, I didn't mean literally the whole lime. I just meant the whole juice. Gonna mix it. You can put a little bit of white vinegar if you like, but because I squeezed the whole lime, I think that's enough. Of course, we're gonna taste it. Yep, very nice. And that's it, guys. Look, garlic sauce. You can use this for, like I said, for just about anything. As a seasoning, I put it in my beans, soup, stew. When I'm doing salads, like whether it's an octopus salad or just a simple green tomato onion salad, on anything. Garlic bread, toast your bread, throw some of that, or throw some of that first, then toast it. It's delicious. So there's our sauce. All right, so next we're gonna do a guacamole. You know, not every place you go to, or even Mexico, not everybody puts it on their tacos. I normally, depending on the mood, sometimes I'll put it on my taco, and sometimes I don't. But I like to have it just because we normally have chips to go with our tacos. So it's good to have a little bit of, you know, whether it's salsa or guacamole or that kind of stuff. So today I'm gonna make some guacamole, and this is how I make it. All right, so for our guacamole, we of course are gonna start with the avocados. I already have an open one. It's a little dark, but it's not a big deal. Still good. Be careful when you're doing this. And I like to take a spoon, take the avocado out, like so. Very easy. If there's, you know, dark spots, you can always scrape it off. Actually, this one has like a bad part there, so I'm gonna take all that out. On to the next one. Just again, guys. Oh, look how nice that one is. Just be careful when doing this. Same thing. Some people like doing this. Again, very careful. don't want to cut your finger with this. Do it however you feel comfortable doing it. Just like so, because we do want it in little pieces to make it easier when we start mashing it. All right, so that's it. That's what we want. I'm gonna do it all right here on the cutting table. I mean, it's all part of the same thing that we're doing. So we're gonna mash it a little bit. And if you have other ways, I'm doing it the old-fashioned way. This is all I have. I don't have the things that I used to have. But if you have a little blender or a mortar and pestle and you like doing it that way, of course, you know, do it however it's easier for you. So I'm just gonna mash it this much. I'm not gonna do a lot. Remember the garlic sauce? I'm gonna put it on here because hey, this is the secret ingredient to my guacamole. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of onions to it, you know, finely chopped. I'm not doing that today because I'm gonna have another ingredient that's gonna have onions, and so I don't want to have too much onions. So this is it. You can add salt and pepper to taste if you like to your guacamole, but this is it. I'm just gonna mash it a little more, and depends on, you know, how puree you want it. I don't mind a little piece of avocado here and there. I mean, and of course, always taste your food. Tastes good, but I am gonna add more lime and just a tiny bit of salt, just a little bit. And I'll mix it again. Remember, the lime or any citrus you put in it, not only is going to give it flavor, but it also prevents from it getting, you know, dark. If you don't want a dark guacamole, it kind of looks not appetizing. So taste it again. Yeah, a little more garlic. And that's it. Again, guys, you know, as you're tasting it, make adjustments as you see fit. So you may like it more salty or no salt at all, more garlic, less garlic. That's completely up to you. So that's it. That's my guacamole. All right, so we've done our garlic sauce, we've done our guacamole. So now next we're gonna do a onion cilantro for the tacos. I love topping my tacos with that. And this is how I do it. It's very simple. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we got our onion. You can use whatever onion you like, you know, yellow, sweet, red, doesn't really matter. It's up to what kind of onion you like. This one happens to be a sweet one. Obviously I peeled it. And you can do this multiple ways. If you want to be safe about it, anything that's round, make it not round, right? So it's not moving around on you. This is how I like to cut dice, small dice. You know, then you just put it this way, holding it, and just be very careful when you're doing this. So I'm making another slice the other way, then I put it back down, like this. See, now I got it this way, and you can just either go like that or just go like this if you're not too comfortable with the knife. Then we don't want you hurting yourself, but you get the idea. Again, the goal is to keep your fingers. And going back to this little technique, if it didn't work out for you, just go like this a couple of times, and that should do it. All right, we're going to repeat the process with the other half. Because last time, the other day when I made tacos, I didn't make too much of this, and we ran out. And man, this is so good on your tacos. You have no idea. Alright, so now that we got the onions cut, chopped, we are going to chop some cilantro, stems is up to you, it's optional. I don't really, cilantro is a little strong already as it is, so I don't really use, I mean, I don't mind a little bit of stems in it, but not a lot if I can help it. Alright, so that's good. You can always bunch this up like that. You just chop it, same as everything else. Chop it however you feel comfortable doing it. You do want it, you know, finely chopped. That way you're not putting big chunks of cilantro in your taco or in your mouth. So that's good. Now I'm gonna add some lime to it. And don't be afraid to do one of these. See how I'm using not the sharp side but the other side. You know, some of those pieces of lime in there too. Got this other piece from earlier. And yes, I'm gonna put plenty. I like doing this. I like rolling whether it's a lime, lemon, because it kind of loosens the juice in there, and when you cut it and squeeze it, it just makes it easier for you. All right, I am going to add on this one a little bit of the garlic, not a lot, just a little bit. A little bit of this, which again, whatever seasoning you like. I'm not gonna go too crazy with that. I'm also gonna add a little bit of the dry parsley. It's optional, you don't have to if you don't want to. Garlic, same thing, garlic powder, same thing, you don't have to. I'm only going to add a little bit because I just add some of that. And black pepper, optional also. I'm actually not going to use black pepper because Brenda and I love spicy food. So I'm actually going to make this guy a little spicy. I just added some cayenne or red pepper flakes. Mix it up. You can add cayenne pepper and paprika. So if you like giving it some color and really not too spicy, a little smokiness instead. Hey, it's just not a specific recipe here. This you can adjust it as much as you like. I just happen to make this one like this, but you know, that's it. We use this for our tacos. All right, so we have most of our sides. So yeah, we got most of our sides. We got the onion, the garlic, the guacamole. I'm cheating a little bit. I can make, of course, any sauce, but we bought some of this sauce here, you know, green sauce. So I'm not gonna make more. Normally I'll take a tomato and I'll dice it and make my own little salsa with it, cilantro and all that. I'm trying to keep this taco version authentic. You won't see too much of that on an authentic taco. So I have that. I have some jalapenos in a jar, so we're gonna use that. And I have cheese that's, if you're in the States, you're gonna have, it'll be a lot easier for you to find queso fresco. As you can imagine, here in Spain, I went asking for Mexican cheese and like, no. And they have all kinds of cheeses. And believe me, I don't think I've ever seen so much variety of cheese in any given soup. And almost every grocery store here has at least half an aisle. When I say an aisle, I mean a long aisle. Half of it, it's all cheese. It's overwhelming. But yeah, they won't have like the fresco cheese. I found something pretty close. It is queso fresco de vaca, or you know, from cow cheese. So this is what we used last time. It's pretty good. Does the job. As far as tortilla goes, I love the street tacos. This one is extra small. So this is very tiny. Normally the street tacos are going to be a little bit bigger than that one. And I like corn, which I bought that at the healthy section. So I'm thinking, yeah, it is corn, but it's like a healthy version just because it's gluten free. But you know, I do like the corn ones. Brenda likes the flour one, so we got both. I gotta look for the other one, it's somewhere in there, and of course we got some chips. So again, I just like to have my sides ready, because once I start cooking the meat, you know, you don't want the meat to get cold and stuff. So I leave that for last. My tortillas are all gonna be warmed up and ready. All the sides are gonna be ready. So when I chop up the steak, in this case, well then, all I gotta do is just, you know, we make it family style kind of thing. So we make our own tacos as we're eating. So next we are going to do both. We're gonna start heating or warming up tacos, the tortillas, and we're gonna start cooking the meat, the steak. In this case, I'm gonna show you what the steak looks like and what I did with it. All right, so we have our steak right here, tortillas over there, and some green bell peppers and some onions that I'm gonna, you know, slice to cook it with the meat. Optional, you don't have to, but I like doing it that way. I also forgot to mention the refried beans. Obviously, I didn't, you know, I can make my own, of course, but I decided to buy one in a can. This is from what, 2 days ago. I had it in the fridge, so I'm gonna use this one today, just warm it up. And like I said, for these guys, I don't like them too big, so I'm just gonna julienne them, if you will, like so. But again, you can chop them however you like. If you like them thinner or bigger chunky pieces, completely optional. I would normally get the pan heating up while I do this stuff, but because I'm limited on space. The camera, it's sitting there. But yeah, normally I will get that going. So here we are, you know, julienne cuts on this. And some of you may say, well, that looks like stuff for fajitas. Well, and you're absolutely right. But because I do stir fry it a little, you know, enough to where they just kind of, I wouldn't say disintegrate, but fajitas, you normally leave them crispy. You're in a very hot pan or grill, whatever you're using, and you don't really fully cook them when you're using them from fajitas, right? But with this one, I am cooking them much longer, so they're not going to be big pieces, and you'll see that later. All right, so when it comes to the cut, here in Spain, I'm still getting used to their cuts of meat and what they call the meat here, because it's no names that I'm used to. This looks to me like a New York strip. Very good quality. She was talking about it, you know, 'cause I asked the butcher, you know, to recommend a good meat for this, and we went over a couple of options. This one, very expensive meat. They happened to have it on sale that day for like 50% off, so I jumped on it last, you know, a few days ago when we had the other tacos. Oh my gosh, it's an amazing piece of meat. This one, all I did was I put salt and black pepper on it. I did the same one because it was 2 pieces. So that day I had both of them marinating for a couple of hours, and then that's the 1 piece that we use for the other tacos. This one obviously is gonna be more intense in flavor. It's just been a few more days marinating in that seasoning. So now we're just gonna go ahead and get that pan hot and get it cooking, and then I'll show you how I do that. All right, so the pans should be pretty hot at the moment. I got a small one, as you can see, and the large one for the meat and for the tortilla. So I am going to use a little bit of the garlic mixture, just the oil, not the garlic, just to give well, flavor, yes, but also to keep the tortillas from drying up. You don't want to go too crazy. You don't want to go too crazy with the heat. Maybe medium high. I'm going to start with the little ones. All right, and next I'm going to put this one all the way up, and then make adjustments as I see fit. I do have to be a little careful because this small apartment gets, you know, the smoke. I won't be able to breathe, and I have to open all the windows. But see, it's already smoking. But without any oil, I'm just gonna start that way. I'm starting pretty hot, because I want to sear it. I'm going to open the glass sliding door a little bit, because I already know it's going to get smoky in here. The tortillas, it's up to you if you like them a little dark like that. It's completely optional. I don't care for them to be too dark, but I don't like them chewy either. So like so, you know, you just want a little dark, so a little searing it up a little bit. What I did last time, once I cook all the sides a little bit, I take the fat out, and then I cook the fat by itself, let it get crispy, and put it on the side. You know, whether we want to put it in the taco or not. I just ate it like a chicharrón almost. It was really nice. Once I throw the onions and the bell pepper, then I'll add some of the garlic oil. I'm not doing it yet because again, it just gets too smoky in here. You may have a better, you know, like a different setup where smoky or the smoke, it's not an issue for you. But it's definitely a problem for me, so I have to be careful. I'm just trying to, there it goes. Oops. Trying to get all the sides there. Smoking the place up already. I do have it all the way up, so I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. I just opened the door to let some of that smoke out. It's smoking a lot. I'm just trying to let some of that smoke out. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. That's what I was saying earlier, you have to play depending on your stove. In fact, I'm going to turn it off for a little bit. I think I'm going to focus more on the tortillas here. Finish that up. Maybe we'll go back to this. Because I'm going to take the meat out. I'm going to put it on the cutting board. I'm going to let it rest for a minute or so. And I'm going to throw my other stuff in there. All right. I'm going to cover these tortillas up so they don't get cold. I think it's safe to close the doors again, so it makes this place too cold. Now I'm going to add some of this. Looking nice. So next thing, I'm going to flip the camera to the other side so that you guys can see what I'm going to do with the meat in just a moment. Then we're going to turn this back on, maybe a medium, just so that it doesn't get too, or maybe a medium low, like so. I just want to finish up the tortillas. And then we'll finish up the meat, and that's it. We'll be ready to eat. Right there. I'm gonna actually, I know you can't see this, but all I'm doing is taking the fat off the meat. Like I said, I'm gonna cook it by itself. Maybe we can bring the heat up a little bit, like medium high. Put these guys to the side so they don't burn. I do want these guys to crisp up. Alright, so we got one more tortilla to go. Then I'll flip the camera around. I'm pushing the pot so this section is not hot. I want this to crisp up. I should have thrown this in earlier when it was, but it's alright. It'll work. Just bring it up a little more. Last tortilla. I think we're good on the tortillas. Just like that. Turn this one off. In fact, I'm gonna put this like this. Keeps my tortillas nice and warm. Alright, so I'm gonna flip the camera around. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut my meat in thin slices. Ideally, I want to go against the grain if I can. I think against the grain, and this cut will be like this. It just makes it more tender. And yeah, it's really red. Brenda doesn't like it like this. To be honest with you, I don't care for it to be this red, not on a taco. If I was eating it whole, then maybe. But on a taco, I do like it, you know, more cooked. I think I'm going against the grain this way, but to be honest, I can't see it too well. But either way, this is such a good quality meat. No matter which way you cut it, it's gonna be nice, tender, and juicy. I normally in the States, when I was in the States and I went to go buy my meat for my tacos, I would normally get the skirt steak. You know, you take the skirt steak, clean it up if it's not already clean, and when I mean clean it up, I mean take the silver skin. You don't want to take all the fat out, but if you're not familiar with that, you know, YouTube it. How to clean silver skin off a skirt steak. Make sure you have a good knife for that. And marinate it. Marinate it with the same garlic sauce I made. Just add more stuff. You can add water. You know, more citrus, like even orange juice, some vinegar to your marinade. Once you have cleaned that meat, once you have cleaned your skirt steak, let it marinate for at least a day. And my friends, you're gonna thank me on that one. Skirt steak, and the thing about the skirt steak, once you cook it, you can cook it however you like your meat. I wouldn't overcook it because you don't want it too dry. And then cut it against the grain. Also, if you're not familiar with that, look it up on YouTube. Know what is cutting against the grain look like, and do that. Cut it thin on a bias, like on an angle against the grain. That meat is gonna be tender and delicious. And then you just set up your tacos, and that's a good one. All right, so I'm gonna flip the camera around. So I got this in, this thing goes up to 9, so this is in 7, so it's like medium high. I'm gonna bring it a little higher to like 8. All I wanna do here is just brown the meat. Actually, I'm gonna bring it all the way up. I am gonna add up a little bit of the garlic in there, just for extra flavor. And I'm gonna open the door again because it got smoky again. So this is good right here, but again, because Brenda likes it a little more, then I'm just gonna cook it a little more. And I'm actually gonna take the fat that we just crisped up, I'm gonna chop it up this time, and I'm gonna throw it in there. Because, I mean, fat is not necessarily healthy, but I gotta tell you, it's flavorful. So I'm gonna throw it in there. Gives it a nice, you know, touch and crunchiness to the tacos. Look at that. When it comes to, I'm turning this off. When it comes to the how cooked you want it, you know, so, or not only that, but you can chop it up if you don't like pieces this big. Again, it's just one of those optional things. Well, that's it. We got our stuff ready. So I'm gonna finalize the table, get everything over there, and then we'll share how we build up our tacos and whatnot. Alrighty, so this is somewhat of a setup here. We got our meat still steaming, guacamole, our onions, garlic sauce, some chips. We got the jalapenos, which I didn't really care for too much last time, so I'm not eating that. This salsa is pretty good. Put that there. And of course, our tortillas, which they are hot. All right, so this is how we do it. Just a little bit of the meat.
What's the refried beans?
Oh, I forgot the refried beans. They're in the microwave. You may have to stir it and stir it and warm it up for another minute or so. So to this, I like to put some of this, some of the onions, some of the cheese, and that's it. That's how I'm doing this one. I mean, obviously, you can build it however you want, but this right here, my friends, is pretty authentic. When you go to Mexico, you're gonna get something very similar to this. Some of you who've been in Mexico know that that's how it is. So bon appetit. If you're following, well, I hope you enjoy them. Guy Fieri, got nothing here, okay? All right, so hope you all enjoy that recipe. So that's our version of Ricky and Brenda The Great Escape, authentic tacos. Of course, had a little twist here and there, but for the most part, pretty authentic. Hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video. Primera producción.